Now, in order to prove that the any two opposite sides are equal, you can choose from two pairs of triangles. What two pairs? You can either choose this pair and this pair. I mean, these two is this is one pair of triangle that you can prove congruent, or you can also prove these two triangles to be congruent. Either way, it is going to work. Okay. So let's say that I want to prove this triangle and this triangle, this pair, to be congruent. Okay. Then what should I do? How are they congruent? Let's see. First of all, what you see here in these two triangles is that this side is equal to this side. I've already shown here. If you see here, I've already shown here. Okay, this one, not this one, in fact, this one. Okay, so let me just put it in the. Okay, so the red marked sides are equal because of this. Okay, also, these two sides are given to be equal. Okay, these two are given to be equal. What else? This angle is 90 degree. 90 degree, and this is 90 degree. So what axiom?
SAS.
SAS,
Side angle.
because there are two sides and one angle involved. Okay, so if you see this angle 90 degree is actually the included angle between this side and this side. So by SAS, I can prove that these two triangles are congruent. And once I prove that these two triangles are congruent, then what can I say? Then I can say that these two are equal. This side is equal to this side by CPCT. So therefore, if you see in this quadrilateral, what have I shown? I have shown these two opposite sides to be equal in this quadrilateral. So in this quadrilateral, adjacent sides are equal, which I've already shown. And I've also shown that the opposite sides are equal. That means all the sides are equal. Okay. So I've shown that this is the first part I have shown that all the sides are equal. So let us write down the proof of congruency first.
Excuse me, sir.
Mhm.
We can take any two triangles for the proof.
Yes, any pair you can take. There are two pairs actually, as I said. This is
Yes,
one pair.
sir.
This is one pair. This star that I am marking. This is one pair. Or you can take this tick pair also. Any two pairs you can take. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So let us now move on to the proof. The proof here we have in triangle. So I have written here, we now proceed to prove that the opposite sides of quadrilateral EFGH are equal. So what we do here, we consider triangles. In triangle, the triangle here are AEH and FCG. AEH and triangle FCG. Okay, in these two, you have angle A is equal to angle C. Equal to 90 degree because interior angles of a square. Okay, next one is AH is equal to CF. AH is equal to CF. That means the black side that I have marked, in red side that I have marked in the two triangles, they are equal because here, because of this. So as shown above. Okay. And what else? Third one is AE is equal to CG. This is given. So AE is equal to CG. given. Therefore, triangle AEH congruent to triangle FCG. This is by SAS. Okay, so by CPCT, what can I write? I can write EH is equal to FG. Therefore, EH is equal to FG by CPCT. Now we'll combine. So first here, what did I prove? EH is equal to EF. So we'll write. So we have EH is equal to EF. What else? Here I have shown GH is equal to GF. GH is equal to GF. And also here I just showed that EH is equal to EF. EH is equal to FG. Therefore, all these three imply that EH must be equal to EF, must be equal to GH, must be equal to GF. That means all four sides of the quadrilateral are equal. That is, all four sides of quadrilateral EF, GH are equal. Okay, so this completes the proof of the first part. What first part? I told you there are two parts to the proof. The first part is all sides are equal, so we have shown this. This part is over. Now we are going to show number one, that is any one angle is 90 degree. So now how to show? Now look here from the diagram, try to understand, then I will write. Consider the first pair of triangles that I have proved congruent. That is, consider this pair, okay, this pair, these two triangles, consider these two, okay. Now from, I have already proved that these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, by CPCT, what can you say? You can say that by CPCT, you can say that this angle must be equal to this angle. Am I correct or not? Because these two sides are equal, right? And opposite to this side, the angles must be equal. Am I right? Tell me fast.
Yes, sir, yes. So opposite to F, opposite to side FB is angle E.
Opposite to?
Side FB.
Yes, is this angle, this one.
Yes, sir.
And
And
opposite to the
opposite to
side
E,
AE
AE is H.
is your this angle here at H. Not angle H, but at H. Okay.
At H.
So these two are equal. Let us call them X. Let us call this as X. And let us call this as X. Okay. Also, what you see here is that, yes, so here, just give me a minute. What you also see here is that if this is X, then how much is this angle? This is 90 degree, remember. So how much should be this angle? Sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So X, let us call this angle Y. Okay. So this angle is X plus, if you consider the sum of interior angles of this triangle, you have X plus Y plus 90 must be equal to 180. That means, what is Y here? Y here is 180 minus 90 minus X, which is 90 minus X, right? So Y, what is the measure of this Y? Measure of this Y is 90 minus X. So what should be this angle? These are all these three angles on a straight line, right? So X, this angle, X, this angle here, and this Y. All these are angles on a straight line. So sum of these angles must be 180 degree. So X plus, say, angle HEF. plus angle, not angle, but y. Plus y is equal to 180 because they are the interior angles, in fact, the angles on the same straight line. So therefore, you can now replace y by, what have we got the value of y in terms of x? 90 minus x. So x plus HEF plus 180 minus x. Ninety minus x, not 180 minus x. It's 90 minus x. 90 minus x is equal to 180. So this x cancels. So you simply get angle HEF is equal to 90 degree. So therefore we have shown that this angle is a right angle. One interior angle is a right angle, and therefore this is a square. Now what happened, that note, in the note that I have sent you, this part has somehow not there. Okay, maybe I have misplaced or something. Maybe I have not able to organize the pages correctly. What I when I was going through the notes, what I saw was that some pages I have not been able to arrange properly, and I might have skipped on this part. So you might as well, when you are copying, please copy this part from what I am doing here. Okay, because see, if you see the notes here, this part is not there actually. If you see, this part does not belong to this problem. This part is not from this problem. This part is actually from this problem, from this one, number 10. Okay, so please take a note that this is from problem number 10. Okay, this part is for problem number 10, and here you will have more. Okay, the one that I am going to do. Okay, so let's proceed here. Let's see till what point I have done. AEH and BEF. Fine, AEH and BEF. So these two triangles. So we'll continue. We'll say it has already been shown above that triangle AEH is congruent to triangle BEF. Okay, that is, we have already shown. Let me just erase this so that while writing, fine. So it has already been shown that these two triangles are congruent. Okay, that is what I have written. AEH congruent to BEF. That means this angle must be equal to this angle by CPCT. So that is what we are going to write. Therefore, angle AHE is equal to angle BEF. This is by CPCT. Okay. Now we will consider this triangle. Okay. In this, what this angle we know is 90 degree. Okay. We will find out this angle here, angle AEH. So we'll write in triangle AEH, angle A, which is 90 degree, plus angle AHE, plus angle AEH, is equal to 180 degree. because sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So angle A we know is the interior angle of a square 90 degree plus angle AHE. I have already shown that AHE is same as BEF. So instead of AHE I'll write BEF. Okay, and I'll write AEH as it is because we need to find AEH. So what are we getting? We are getting angle AEH, which we needed to find out, is equal to 180 minus 90 minus angle BEF, which is equal to 90 minus angle BEF. Okay, so we have got AEH in terms of BEF. This is the same as y is equal to 90 minus x. Remember I showed you this one, y is equal to 90 minus x above, the same as this. Okay, so AEH, this is your y and this is your 90 minus BEF is x. Okay, so that is what, for comparison you can compare it this way. Now we have found AEH. Now we'll say that these three angles are on the same straight line. Which three angles? All these green angles. This angle, and this angle. All these are on the same straight line. So we'll write angle AEH. Therefore, angle AEH plus angle HEB. HEF, sorry, this one. The one that is inside the quadrilateral. Angle HEF plus angle FEB or BEF. Angle BEF is equal to 180 degree because angles on the same straight line. Okay, so here our objective here is to find angle HEF, this one, this angle HEF. Here our objective is to find this angle HEF. So what is angle HEF here? Angle HEF is equal to 180 minus angle AEH minus angle BEF. Okay, so now what is here? What have I shown? Angle AEH is equal to what? 90 minus angle BEF. So I write here, instead of AEH I write 90 minus angle BEF minus angle BEF. So what I get here is, now open the brackets, 180 minus 90 plus angle BEF minus angle BEF. So angle BEF cancels out. Just as your x was cancelling out above, so you get a angle HEF is equal to 90 degree. So I have proved that this angle here is 90 degree. So this shows that I have completed the second part of this proof also. That is, one interior angle is 90 degree. Okay. So this shows, ultimately what I'm going to write is, this shows, these show in fact, these show that all sides all the sides of quadrilateral EFGH are equal, and one interior angle, that is which angle? Angle HEF is equal to 90 degree, is the right angle. Hence, EFGH is a square. Okay. So this is what. This is a long proof, a long sum, and you have a lot to learn in this sum. Okay, that's why I did this sum. If you are able to do this sum on your own, then consider it to be an achievement. Okay, which means that you are understanding this chapter well. So I finished the sum here, and remember that this is a part of problem 10. Okay, and from the video, uh, in this problem, you take your notes till this part here. Okay, for this problem, you take your notes till this part from here, and then if you can start from here, you can start from here. Yes, you can start from here. This one, you can start from here till the end. Okay, here till here. You please copy it from the video, because for some reason problem 10 has come here. Okay, due to the arrangement of the pages. The next sum that I'm going to do, number 11, is a very important sum, because this sum I will solve, same sum I'm going to solve where I'll be discussing trigonometry. This sum can be done in two ways. This way, that is by rectilinear figures using the properties of quadrilaterals, or you can also solve this sum by trigonometry. But first here, I will solve this sum by your normal rectilinear figures, that is your properties of quadrilaterals. So let's see what is given here. It is given that ABCD is a rhombus in which angle A is 60 degree. Find the ratio AC is to BD. What are AC and BD? AC and BD, if you see here, they are nothing but the diagonals of the rhombus. Let us draw a rhombus first. Let's see what we can do with this rhombus. Okay, call this ABCD. Call this rhombus ABCD. Okay, and one angle is given to be your ABCD rhombus, so all the sides are equal. Let's mark the sides to be equal. And obviously this is a parallelogram also, so these two are parallel also. And what else? Angle A is 60 degrees, so this angle is given to you as
चूतिए लोग साले सब रिवाइव हो गए साले चूतिए मादर चोट साले बोका चोदा साला
so. You join AC.
Asim, why were you abusing?
And you join BD.
Asim was abusing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is our point of intersection. Just call it O. Okay, now the question here is find the ratio of AC is to BD, or the question could also have been given as find the ratio of the length of the diagonals. Length of the diagonals. Find the ratio of the length of the diagonals. Fine. So let us proceed to find. Now before writing, you must understand here first. That is, this angle is given to us as 60 degree. Now if you see this triangle, triangle ABD, this triangle here, triangle ABD, this triangle here, this is an isosceles triangle because these two sides are equal, right? So what should be these angles? What should be these angles? This angle and this angle. Let us take them to be x because the opposite sides are equal. Therefore, the opposite angles must also be equal. Okay. Let us take these two to be x. So in this triangle, Let us take these two to be x, this angle to be x, and this angle to be x, because this triangle ABD is actually an isosceles triangle. So what happens here? If I take these two to be x, that means x plus 60 must be equal to 180, because sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So what is the value of x? The value of x here is 2x plus 60 is equal to 180. That means 2x is equal to 120. So you're getting x is equal to 60. So what you are getting here is x is equal to 60 and x is equal to 60 here. That means all the angles of this triangle are 60 degree. This means that triangle ABD is equilateral. Okay, this means that triangle ABD is not isosceles, but it is actually an equilateral triangle, because I've already shown all the angles to be 60 degree. Okay, now if this triangle is equilateral, then what can you say? What can you say about the side? The sides are equal. So therefore, if I take this side to be A, this side will also be A, and this BD, the length of this diagonal BD will also be A, so that this will be A by 2 and this will be A by 2. So now you tell me whether you have understood this or not.
No, sir. Please repeat.
You have understood the equilateral part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have understood
So
the
till 60, I have understood. After 60, what you told, it's not
if this is
clear.
60, this is 60, this angle is 60, and this angle is also 60, right? That means in this triangle is equilateral, right or wrong?
So angle ADB is equilateral triangle.
Yes,
That much
ADB,
I got.
ADB. This is an
That much.
equilateral triangle. If this is an equilateral triangle, that means all the sides are equal of this triangle, right? That means what are the sides of this triangle? This is one side, this is one side, and this is the third side, right? All these three sides are equal. If I take this side to be A, this will be A, and what should be the length of this BD? This should also be A. This entire length BD, this length plus this length must be A. That means this must be A by 2, because the diagonals of a rhombus, they bisect each other, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
they are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So therefore, if this entire length BD is A, then this length must be half of BD, which is A, and this length must also be half of BD, which is A, right? Also, this is 90 degrees, because the diagonals of a rhombus, they are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So this must be 90. So what happens? This becomes a right angle triangle. But that means triangle OAB becomes a right angle triangle, right?
Yes, sir.
Now we shall find out the length of the other diagonal with the help of this right angle triangle. We are going to use Pythagoras theorem. So what do we know? We know this length to be A by 2, and which one is the hypotenuse? This is my hypotenuse, A. So I can find out this. Once I find out this length, this base, then the length of this base must be equal to this. That means I can find out AC also, and therefore now I can find out the ratio. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Let me just write, and then maybe you'll be able to understand better. Okay, so you have this is as given as to your 60 degree. Okay, so we start by saying given angle DAB equal to 60 degree. So we'll write, since ABCD is a rhombus, AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD. All sides are equal. Therefore, triangle ABD is isosceles, where which two sides are equal? AB is equal to AD. These two sides, AB, AD, they are equal. Okay, so we are talking about these two sides being equal. So that means angle ADB is equal to angle ABD. Why? Because in an isosceles triangle, angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Okay. Now we shall say that the sum of interior angles of this triangle ABD is 180 degree. We'll say in triangle ABD, angle DAB, the angle that is given to be 60 degree, plus these two angles ADB and ABD. These are all interior angles, is equal to 180. That means this angle is given to be 60, and you know that ADB and ABD are equal. So therefore, you can replace ABD by ADB, and you can give your reason in brackets here, since angle ADB is equal to angle ABD. So now what happens? You get 60 plus twice angle. Why so much of chatting?
Sir, Asim was abusing with his mic unmuting. He was abusing, so they are discussing about that.
It's all, the story is over. Whatever he was doing, now he is not doing. So let it be. So why cry over all this?
They only know, sir.
That means angle ADB is 120 by 2, which is 60 degree. So what I have shown here is that these two angles are equal. Therefore, angle ABD is equal to angle ADB is equal to 60 degree. That is angle DAB, all the angles of the triangle, angle DAB is equal to angle ABD is equal to angle ADB is equal to 60 degree. All the interior angles of this triangle, this is 60 degree, this is 60 degree. I have shown these two are 60. Therefore, all the three angles are 60 degree. That means triangle ABD is equilateral. Okay. So I stop here for today.